It's been the traditional drink of the Kentucky Derby for nearly a century, the Mint Julep. We're going to tell you all about the first American drink or not. We're going to tell you everything and the way we serve it with our guest today, Elizabeth McCall. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
You are the assistant distiller, master distiller, of Woodford Reserve.
Yes.
You're in town. You're not from New York. You're
not
in town.
from New
You came
York.
for the great weather. You're in town to unveil this year 1,000 Mint Julep, who's going to be available at the Kentucky Derby.
Yes.
You're going to tell us everything about it.
Oh, yeah.
We're super excited. First, tell us how did the Mint Julep become the official drink of the Kentucky Derby?
Well, the Mint Julep has great history and something that I love. So every Derby week, you start the day off with the Mint Julep. And the Mint Julep historically is a morning drink.
That's a morning drink.
Morning drink.
Okay.
I know. Doesn't that sound weird? A morning drink.
I know.
Yeah, but
why not?
Hey, I think it's better than coffee sometimes. But it is definitely traditional with the Kentucky Derby, with horse racing. But the reason why is because before there were things like aspirin, people would wake up with aches and pains, and they would have their whiskey to help soothe that, a little sugar sweetness to help curb the alcohol of the whiskey, and then of course mint to freshen the breath. And then it has evolved since that time, and then putting it into the Julep Cup has made it almost a trophy piece. So it's just a great, fun drink for springtime.
I've read that 120,000 Mint Julep are served during the weekend of the Kentucky Derby.
Yes.
Do you confirm those numbers?
Oh,
It's crazy.
Oh, it's crazy.
That's a lot of alcohol. That's a lot of
it's a lot of mint.
And mints.
Oh,
right?
Mint is crazy. We are the biggest purchasers of mint during that time. So it is definitely a staple at the Kentucky Derby. If you attend, you must get one.
Well, it's America's, maybe to tell us a little bit more for French viewers, it's America's favorite horse race. Is there a reason
the Kentucky Derby?
Yeah, the Kentucky Derby.
It's a very celebrated one.
Right.
It's one that people participate in the parties just from the lifestyle aspect of the Kentucky Derby. How often do you get to wake up and have a drink before noon, and it's acceptable, or wear a big, beautiful hat, drink Woodford Reserve to enjoy your day and watch horses run, thoroughbreds. They're beautiful, amazing animals. So it's just a great tradition.
Beginning of May, right? That's
yes.
when the Kentucky Derby.
Always the first Saturday in May. You'll never forget it.
So, few lucky people will be able to drink a luxury Mint Julep. Mm-hmm. You're here to tell us about that.
Yes.
So, $1,000 Mint Julep for the cheapest one.
Yes.
Because there's another one, right?
For this program, so the $1,000 Mint Julep program is a great way that Woodford Reserve has celebrated being the official bourbon of the Kentucky Derby, but it also is a way for us to work with charities and to celebrate kind of just the fun different takes on the Mint Julep that you can have. So this year, since Woodford Reserve is the presenting sponsor of the Kentucky Derby, we've decided to just celebrate the best of Kentucky.
Right.
So with that, we're doing a classic, very classic recipe for the Mint Julep, but with it is all Woodford County, which is where Woodford Reserve is, our distillery is, and where it's made, all Woodford County sourced ingredients.
So you're going to make it for us
So
right
I'm
now.
going to make it for you right now.
Teach us. Because, it's okay. It's a traditional drink.
Traditional drink.
American people know. Not even only American people. We know it too in France. Okay.
Yeah. Everyone around the world loves it.
But there's a special way to make it.
Oh,
it's not like it's so you got to have Woodford Reserve Bourbon first of all.
Yes. Always Woodford Reserve Bourbon.
Right.
But for this year's cocktail, we're starting out by rubbing the mint inside the cup to just open up the great mint aroma. You can probably smell it already.
Yep.
Then we're going to do 2 ounces of Woodford Reserve, and we'll pour that right in the glass. So delicious. Woodford Reserve has over 212 flavors in it, so you really can't go wrong.
And you can smell it.
Can you just smell those
amazing,
wonderful
right?
aromas?
It has to be in a metal cup, right?
Well,
Because
We serve them in glass cups too, but the metal cup, you'll see when I add the ice why it's so important to have that. We're going to do 1 teaspoon or 2 bar spoons full of sorghum. So sorghum is a great sweetener that's classic to Kentucky. It has a lot of herbal notes to it, so it just makes it really, really delicious and adds to the complexity. Then, of course, we have our crushed ice, but this is special ice. So this is limestone filtered water ice. So it's made, that's what we use in our mash cooker when we create our bourbon.
Right.
So we've got that ice made specifically, flown all the way from Kentucky to have here. So I'm going to spin it spin the bar spoon.
We cannot use, like, we have great
You
water
can use,
in New York.
You do have great, we were talking about that actually, you do have great water. But for our $1,000 mint julep, we're going to do our limestone filtered water. So we're going to put our garnish in there, and then I'm going to add a little more ice on top of it just to kind of give it, because the mint julep, you want the ice to melt throughout the day, and you want to have a nice little cone of ice on there. And then you'll also notice that you can see, do you notice how the glass is starting to frost?
Oh yes, absolutely.
It's great. We always tuck our straw in right next to the garnish of your mint
that's
and
the
rose.
straw. This is so pretty.
Isn't it beautiful?
That's beautiful, yeah. So tell us what's on the cup.
The cup. So this year you'll notice with the cup, we've got this beautiful little engraving around it, and that's supposed to represent the limestone water. And then we've got the twin spires on there, which we've never done before, and that's to represent the partnership between Woodford Reserve and Churchill Downs. But the water is key, because water in Kentucky, the limestone filtered water, is why bourbon is big in Kentucky and why horses are big in Kentucky. And so we really wanted to just celebrate that with this cup. And you've got a racehorse, we have the rose, because the Kentucky Derby is the run for the roses. And then of course we have a Woodford Reserve bottle on the side. So this is our $1,000 mint julep, only available on Derby Day.
Right. Oh.
Only
so
available.
How many of them do you
So we've got about 90 of these, and then our $2,500 cup, there are about 15 of them. But you can order them online at woodfordreservemintjulep.com. But you have to be present on Derby Day to pick them up.
All right. How many zips?
You want a sip?
I can't. Well, you have like 20?
Yeah. We've got available of these.
Right.
We've got
how many zips do you have? Sips.
Oh, sips.
I
was like, what?
Yeah.
Sips.
French.
It's I know, it's beautiful. Sips is just however long you let it last, because the ice will keep melting throughout the day. One thing I forgot to mention, though,
rose petal.
This rose petal.
Right.
So on the Friday before the Kentucky Derby, at one of our local grocery stores, they will actually sew in the roses for the rose garland that they drape over the winning horse of the Kentucky Derby. So myself and our master distiller, Chris Morris, are going to attend, sew in a few roses, and snag a few rose petals to place on the top of the cup. So it's going to be extra special to just, again, celebrate Woodford Reserve and the Kentucky Derby.
This is amazing. One last thing, you said that some proceeds will go to a charity. You pick a different charity every year?
Every year we pick a different charity. This year we have not yet selected it, and we'll wait until our big press release to reveal who the lucky charity is. But yeah, so that's a big part of why we have the big price tag. It's not just for the glitz and glamour of it, but there's also a good charity behind it.
And this one, 2,500.
2,500.
It's a little bit more expensive because it's
gold. It's a gold-plated cup as opposed to the silver cup, and it has silver features on it. So it's just stepping it up a notch.
Of course, and we need that. Okay, so beginning of May for the Kentucky Derby, the luxury mint julep.
Yes.
Thank you so much for sharing with you this recipe and this beautiful
tradition.
tradition.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, and stay warm. Talk to you later. Bye.